Hi, we're gonna have kind of a different video than our usual. This weekend I had to go to work and I came home tired, and while I was at work, Elizabeth went to the Grand Floridian, and then today she went to Gideon's. So we have treats right here at our house.
That's right, so our usual good morning from, well, it's good afternoon from our dining room.
Sort of a home vlog.
So yesterday I was out and about with the youngest child anyway, and it got to be fairly late and I figured he would be pretty tired. So we were about halfway from our house to Disney anyway. Why not just go? Gosh, the Gasparilla Island Grill at Grand Floridian has, I think, 4 different treats. But one is a Jack Skellington pumpkin pie pop. It's a pumpkin pie pop. It's probably pretty good, but
You can only have so many treats at once.
Exactly, and Gideon's has been doing some pumpkin stuff, which you will find out about in just a minute, because that is the special treat this weekend. I know. So we did not buy that, and they have a Sally's Stitched Up Whoopie Pie. It's their regular vanilla whoopie pie with different frosting on the top, icing on the top to make it look like Sally. So it's pale blue with stitches and little patches.
But
so
we
it's
didn't
very cute.
But we didn't get that one either.
We didn't get that one because it's vanilla whoopie pie. I mean, we can buy that anytime, right? So cute, probably tasty, don't know. But what we got there were the other 2 treats, the Amok cupcakes. Yes, you did hear plural, cupcakes. So the Amok cupcakes, plural, 3 cupcakes decorated as the Sanderson sisters. So Winifred, Mary, and Sarah. They also had a little white chocolate medallion tucked right here between Winifred and Sarah, but it kind of didn't stick very well and it kind of broke. These cupcakes are a rich devil's food cake with peanut butter filling, decorated to resemble all 3 Sanderson sisters. I didn't put the butter in there, they did, okay? They were $6.49, so usually the cupcakes are more like $5.49 to $5.99, but even though these are smaller cupcakes, there are 3 of them, so it's probably pretty fair. Now, I think maybe we're gonna take Sarah. Sarah is the simplest of the cupcakes with just her little swirl. I would have liked to have seen it come down the sides, actually. Part of Sarah's being Sarah is the long hair. Okay. There are little sprinkles, little glitter sprinkles on all of these, which is fun. Peanut butter filling. It's actually a little more filling than we're used to. So if all 3 of these cupcakes have this, they might actually be a little step above what we've been dealing with. But these are so small, I don't think I really need a fork. Plain buttercream. It's actually a little better than we've been getting. It doesn't have that greasy mouthfeel feel. It's not bad. That's like super light whipped peanut butter. It's peanut butter. It's lighter than peanut butter, but they didn't add a bunch of other stuff to it, so I'm not sure how they made it so nice and light. Maybe it's powdered peanut butter whipped into a cream or something, but it's delightful. Wow.
Maybe it's Sanderson sisters magic.
Only if Winifred likes peanut butter, because she wouldn't do this for anybody else. That's actually quite a nice little cupcake. Yum! Good job, Disney.
All right, Sarah. The buttercream is mostly just sweet. The cake is quite good, it's moist. And the peanut butter is very light and whipped. So this is actually quite tasty. And if we cut it in half, you can molly it. And although we didn't get the pop or the whoopie pie, there was one other treat we got.
This is the Bewitching Minnie Mouse Witch Cupcake.
Isn't that a cute little hat?
And that's a funny story too, because when we were there, we got this one, and then taking the hat off because it's white chocolate and you know you can't cut through that. We went back in to get some more ice water, and the cashier said we were lucky to get this because this was second to last of the mini hats because they ran out
Oh dear.
They had little bows, and so they put a little sugar dot in the middle with a bat on it. So that's what people were getting for the next Bewitching Minnie Mouse cupcake.
Well, we got lucky, and of course they did not run out of the Oreos.
Oh no, they have Oreos. So the Bewitching Minnie Mouse cupcake is a cookies and cream filled chocolate cupcake enrobed in chocolate ganache and topped with Minnie Mouse chocolate witch hat. It is $5.99. It's really going to depend on how much filling is in there, because we've had cookies and cream filling before, and they're usually pretty good cupcakes.
Pretty much, but Disney has been a little skimpy on their fillings.
And this one is very, very light when I pick it up, so I am a little concerned. So this cupcake is very light, so either there's very little of the cookies and cream filling, which is what I'm afraid of after the last several filled cupcakes, or it is also super light and whipped like the peanut butter was.
We will see.
Well, the filling is better than it has been. I can't actually pick this cupcake up. You see, the cookies and cream is part of the frosting as well, and on the other half of the cupcake, it's wanting to lift off of the cake. So that makes it a little more difficult to deal with. That over on Art's plate, enrobed in chocolate ganache, it's pretty good ganache. It's like a little bit of hot fudge sauce has been added to some chocolate. I don't see that as a problem. These cupcakes are very light today. It's just a very light devil's food. The cookies and cream with the chocolate on top, it really does add some extra flavor. It's lovely. Now one thing is, when they use Oreos, the Oreos tend to get kind of mushy. So I may actually eat that, but that's not the main part. The main point of the cupcake is to get cookies and cream, chocolate ganache, and a bite of cake. That is delicious. I love cookies and cream when it's done well. This is really, really good. Could have used a little more filling, but because it's the same as the frosting on top, I think the balance of cake to frosting is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna try that white chocolate hat because I don't feel like ruining my lovely bite of devil's food cake with Oreo right now.
Traditionally, as I've said before on some other videos, you always start with the ears, and in this case, that's an Oreo. Tastes like an Oreo, a little soggy because it was in the buttercream, but it was still pretty darn good. Oreos are great, they're always great. On to the cake. I'm gonna try a little cake by itself. Ooh, it is a very delicate cake. It has a very light crumb. It's pretty good. I would like the dark chocolate flavor to be a little chocolatier. And I think, although it's not dry, it's not super moist either, so I would like a little more moisture in it too. But it's not bad. It's really a pretty good piece of cake. Let's try some of this cookies and cream. Oh, cookies and cream with chocolate on top. It's got to be a pretty good deal. That's pretty good, and you can taste the chocolate, and it really does add to the cookies and cream. I'm going to try it all together now.
I think there's a song in there somewhere.
I was thinking that myself. All together now, all together now. I like the Beatles too. Okay, cake, frosting, a little bit of chocolate. Only a little bit of chocolate. It'll do. That's really pretty good. With the frosting, it kind of makes up for the cake that isn't quite as moist as I'd like it, but with the frosting, it's plenty moist. This is really a pretty good cupcake. I would recommend it to anyone, and it certainly is pretty.
And the pièce de résistance, since I did go to Gideon's today.
Yes, now we have Gideon's. We've moved from the Gasparilla Island Grill at the Grand Floridian to Gideon's at Disney Springs.
Now, if you've watched some of our other reviews, a couple of weeks ago, Gideon's had something they said they hadn't made before. They were basing it on the snack cakes of their youth. So they brought out Mr. Mephistopholittle, who's a little demon sort of guy. They named these Mr. Mephistopholitle's shadow cakes.
Well, they were good too.
The last one was devil's food with a whipped pumpkin filling, and it was amazing. This week, they've decided to do vanilla. So they say it is 2 circular layers of vanilla cake sandwiching a fluffy pumpkin buttercream before being coated in waves of white chocolate shell that mimic the flowing sheets of a ghost. It also has glitter on it, but that is their little snack cake, but it's bigger than a cupcake.
It is a tower of deliciousness.
I'm going to assume so, because their pumpkin It's not buttercream, it's a whipped pumpkin filling. So it's very much like a very, very light whipped pumpkin pie. Or it was. I'm gonna guess this will be the same, but we're gonna find out.
I'm thinking it's going to be a moose, even though that I see no antlers on it at all.
Female moose don't have antlers.
It could be a moose.
So because this little towering cake is enrobed in white chocolate, I decided that the usual cupcake slicer wasn't going to work. And I think I chose wisely, because even this fairly sharp knife is still tearing off some of the white chocolate coating. So now
I think Disney would have heavily frowned on you bringing in a steel knife into their establishments.
Disney Springs does have metal detectors, so they might have caught it. Now, we have a problem with this weekend. With the chocolate shadow cakes, we got 2. Today I asked for 2, but I think the cashier didn't hear me very well. So this is all we have, which is really sad. So I am going to we're going to have to eat just half of it and save this. Whether it makes it into the freezer or not,
it's an open question.
It's a mystery. We'll find out. So I'll have to try and cut this again.
Restraint isn't my highest suit.
And we already know we love Gideon's vanilla cake.
Actually, I've never run into a Gideon's I didn't like.
We've had some we liked less than others, but no, he's right. We've never had a Gideon's we didn't like. They do have a wonderful cake. I doubt if even when we took a really close up you would see, but there are little specks of vanilla bean in there. Supposedly extract actually gives you better flavor. Knowing Gideon's with their quality control, they use both. Pumpkin. It's slightly denser than a mousse. It's almost buttercream texture, but still very nice. I do have one thing here. The problem seems to be the ratio of pumpkin to cake here. The chocolate ones weren't quite ding-dong narrow, ding-dong thin, but they were more like a cupcake, not like this really tall, towering shadow cake. So, because the pumpkin is so amazing, it would have been nice to have more in here. But it's also pretty strongly flavored. Pumpkin spice can be. This is not strong like bad. It might be just perfect. We'll find out. I was wrong. It looks like you need more pumpkin. But because the vanilla cake is so light, the white chocolate obviously makes it much, much sweeter. Because the cake isn't all that sweet. But the whole mouth, the whole bite, wow. I want to say the first shadow cakes were a little better, but I'm a sucker for chocolate. This is really, really good, and I'm really kind of annoyed now that I only got one.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to start out with just some of the cake and white chocolate. It is very light cake, but unlike Disney white chocolate, Gideon's white chocolate you can taste. Now I'm going to go for a bite with the mousse and the cake and the chocolate, white chocolate. See what I think. Oh, it's perfect. The balance is perfect. The pumpkin spice is like delicious pumpkin pie, only a little lighter and fluffier. Goes great with the cake and white chocolate. This is a real winner. I love this thing. I wish we had two too.
This was really a winning day.
It was certainly a lot better than a day at work.
The Grand Floridian cupcakes were very nice. If they do ever have a chocolate peanut butter cupcake over there and you're there, I would grab it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now the cookies and cream, the Minnie Mouse Witch cookies and cream, they do have a cookies and cream pretty much all the time. So this was just decorated for Halloween, which is fine because it was a very good cookies and cream cupcake.
It really was.
But of course, we finished correctly with Gideon's last.
Yeah, the cupcakes would have been really, really stellar, except for the fact that we finished with Gideon's, and that's a hard act to follow.
Gideon's just always wins, I'm afraid. Like I was saying, I thought maybe the pumpkin should have been a little thicker. The mousse shouldn't have been thicker. I thought maybe it needed a thicker layer of the pumpkin filling.
But the balance was perfect.
It really was. The cake is so light. The white chocolate is some of the best white chocolate out there. There may be a few European white chocolates that are better, but this is really good.
Of course, in Europe, they don't call it white chocolate.
No.
They only call that white chocolate here.
A lovely middle of the day treat. We're actually having our treat before supper tonight, but I've saved some of mine for after supper too.
So I have two. We'll see if it actually makes it to after supper.
We have decided that the half of the snack cake, the Mephistopholittle white chocolate this time, we don't think it's gonna make it to the freezer. So we just have to hope maybe Gideon's brings something pumpkin back for Thanksgiving. I did make a suggestion on their Instagram page, and they did respond with, "We'll see."
Which is the kind of response they usually give.
I was totally expecting that if I got a response at all. They're actually really good about responding, so get onto their Instagram if you want. They're fun to read. Their pictures are always fabulous. So much better than what we can do, obviously, because they have professional photographers. If you think Gideon sounds fun, you won't go wrong by checking out their Instagram page.
No, it's fun. It is really fun. It's well written. It's hilarious. You'll like it. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps more people know that it's a good video. If you like this format or don't like this format, leave a comment. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook.
Now Instagram is Our Life Go because somebody already had Our Life on the Go, and when we started this I wasn't thinking Instagram. So kind of had to change that one a little bit. But Our Life Go, I'm getting better at posting more, I think.
We're almost 200 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed, please do.
If you have subscribed but you have a friend you think might enjoy us,
let them know
about us.
And with that said, I'm Art.
I'm Elizabeth.
And this is Our Life on the Go.